Hi Cancer, welcome back to my channel, and for those of you who are new, remember to hit that like button and the subscribe button so you can keep updated. Now we're going to do a forecast reading for Cancer Sun, Moon and Rising sign, but I would like to say a big thank you to anyone who has liked, who has subscribed, who has shared the information at this time. We're all aware of what's going on in the world. We don't really need to talk about it. So there is a big fear consciousness going on, and people at this time need the support, the understanding what's going on. We need to be giving people information that is raising their vibration, helping them understand, which raises their vibration, which, empowers them. Okay, so it's when we're in the unknown and when we're in the fear consciousness that is certainly around now. So, thank you to those who do pass this on, whether it's from my channel, from another spiritual channel, or astrologer, or whatever it is. We really need, you're all part of it. You're all part of sharing. Even though you get on and listen to my channel, you are all a part of, the greater consciousness and raising your own vibration and information and understanding and to others. So keep up the work, thank you, and keep, telling your friends or whatever if you feel they need some understanding at this time. So Cancer, let's get down to it. We're going to touch on March. Now, what I want to say about March energy is, since February, first of all, my readings were, the masks are off. We are seeing everyone and everything now. 2020's hit. The birthdays in January and February, they've hit their 2020. Now March. So where your birthday falls this year, this is when you hit your 2020 energy. It's a 4, then you're setting your new foundations from your birthday on. And this is what we're doing. We've had the reinventing of our karmic cycles. We've had 2019 showing us where we need to reinvent our life or our belief systems or our karmic cycles. And 2020's like, now we're doing the work. Now we're laying the foundation. So if you were renovating a house, 2019 was like, oh, I'm going to renovate and I'm going to knock this wall out and I'm going to paint it pretty colors and I'm going to change this and I'm going to be different and I'm moving and I'm changing and I'm reinventing, restructuring. 2020 is like, okay, that's great. Now we're going to pick up the hammer and the saw and the whatever else and do the work. Now we're going to lay and pour the cement for the new foundation. So if you can think of it like that, now the hard work comes in. And with the hard work, as like when you're renovating something or building or starting a new project, all these challenges come up. And we've got that closing out of how we used to do them, and it's karmic cycles, and everyone around us is going through this. So the masks are off because the Pluto-Saturn conjunction happened in January the 12th forecast reading. You can go back on my channel and have a listen to that because it does go all year. It has directly, whatever was happening in January is now happening in March. January gave us the heads up, the activation, it was happening, it came up, now it's hit in March. Okay, so whatever you needed to deal with in March, that is what you are actually getting, having to face now, the reality. So the masks were off of people, places and situations in January, February. Now March is like, here's the reality. Here's the reality. And you're seeing the reality and the masks are off. See, Pluto's the underworld, transformation, but you're seeing people's power struggles, power trips, manipulation, how people, function in survival mode. They're in fear, the unknown. So we see people, that shadow side come out, people, places and situations. Plus you add on the harsh reality of what's happening in the world now. So there is a lot going on. So whatever came up for you in the month of March, you will be well aware of what that was and where it hit you. The Saturn-Pluto conjunction all year is basically about our systems that we live under, mentally, emotionally, physically or spiritually. And it is the bringing down of systems that do not work for you, that were hidden, that were false, that were, full of power trips, power struggles, manipulation. So our paradigms, our realities, we all thought we had this reality, like my job was safe, or I was safe, or we were free, or whatever it is. It could be personal in a relationship, or the greater, it's out in the world, it's happening everywhere. We thought maybe our government, the systems we lived under were fantastic and supporting everybody, and what we're learning is where that needs restructuring, redoing, bringing down. I'm going to say one more thing here. The last time apparently we had the Saturn-Pluto conjunction, we had World War I, World War II ended, and we had a war in I think it was the 80s or something. So think about that. The Great Depression happened after World War II ended. Life change, any war that started. We had a dramatic change of life. It hit everyone. We were all involved. So, if you think of that in terms of energy, if you want to, it's the same energy. What we're going through in life. I'm not saying it's the same circumstances by any means at all, but it's still bringing through waves of fear. Where we thought we were secure, mentally, emotionally, physically, or spiritually, we've realized we're not. Okay, so that's what I wanted to drive home really for the month of March. That's the reality of the energy. I'm talking energy vibration. So I'm not saying, we went to war like World War I. That's not what I'm saying. That's nothing like what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say it's the same vibration coming through, breaking down our structures and our systems that we lived under, that false realities or realities that were true that are not serving us. And we're moving into the Aquarian age. By the planets will be in full air systems. The planets of Aquarius, all the planets moving into Aquarius by the end of December 2020. So this is new ways of doing, new innovation, quantum leaps. We have to do things differently, living in a new world. We've been living with all the planets for the last 500 years in Earth, an Earth planet and its aspects. So there's a big change here. So, there's a lot going on. But what I'm going to do, I channel through my messages from Spirit, whether I do traditional tarot or most of the time, my spirit guides just give me, Spirit gives me messages through the cards. So sometimes it's not traditional tarot. That's how I work. So I want to just get some validation. So Spirit, give us some validation for Cancer for the month of March, but you're probably all going through it already. Yep, great. Love that card. The High Priestess has, and I feel this is you anyway, Cancer. Take away what's happening right now and look at that. I was just about to say, you've been through it, Cancer, with relationships. And, even into April, we're going to talk about it. There's more about relationships. But the High Priestess, she's been, male or female, just represents an energy. The High Priestess, she's been from the dark to the light. She's been through it all, particularly with relationships. And, you've had a relationship theme. Look at this. More connection. Connection, soulmates, twin flames, two of cups. You've got it all happening here, Cancer. But here's the thing. You've had this theme going on, like reading after reading after reading, month after month. There's a karmic cycle you needed to go through and complete, which is obviously coming into full completion. Because the High Priestess has now become really intuitive. It's also about she sits back. She sits back. Okay, she uses her intuition. She's had everything thrown at her. She's been through everything with relationships. And, you want this peace, balance, harmony, this Two of Cups, people who are working with you. These two are really equal. Nobody's dominating. Nobody's doing more than the other person. This is the Two of Cups. This is the divine feminine and the divine masculine coming together equally. Okay? And For a lot of you, you know, there's this soulmate, this is passion, lust, connection. Now, that could be with a person, a place, or a situation. You know, we can have a soulmate relationship with friends, with lovers, with, you know, being solely connected to a career, to something that we're very passionate about, but it's connected on a soul, spiritual level. So there's been a lot of, the High Priestess also sits here on, can sit back on secrets. Not that she's keeping secrets, it's that she knows when to pick her time. She knows when to give information or not, even though she might know the answer. She may not give it, okay? She may not feel that person's ready for that information. So it can represent a few hidden things yet. So we'll have a look at that. Or if you had some hidden things pop up in the month of March, you know, I feel you're going very deepward intuitively, okay? Not taking action. You know, the High Priestess is not really taking action. She sits back and allows it to come to her. Excuse me. My throat chakra has been playing up all year when I do readings, so there's something going on in my throat chakra, and it's funny, it gets worse well, not worse, but in certain signs you feel it more, and then you do the next one and it's completely okay. So there's something here. Hear my voice changing. I get it. Okay, I'm getting it. So Cancer, you're very sensitive. You know, you're the shell, the crab. You go inward and internalize. And this feels like there's something I need to say. My voice is shaking, or I'd wanted to say that I'm keeping hidden, that I don't really tell. And I wouldn't dare tell anybody. And it doesn't mean it has to be, it can just be speaking your truth. It doesn't have to be a secret. It can just be speaking your truth, feeling you can't speak your truth. Yes, yes, there we go. I wondered why my throat went very tight, super tight, like, and shaky and raspy, like, oh, I've got to get this out. Like, oh. Anyone or anything that's not working with you or for you, it's like you intuitively know. You're not saying anything, but you know. Ooh, Cancer, the crab, doing it quietly. I like your style. I know what's going on here, and I'm not going to say it, even though I might want to. So that can be two things. That can be fear. I can't say it. I just can't stand up and confront and say it, which is the shadowy side, or, you know, our less brave side, fear side. Or it's I'm sitting back, just watching and seeing what's happening and using my intuition. I already know what's going on here, because you, my darling, and this has been your theme all year, really, since at least September last year, you know, getting your power back in and confidence back in relationships, and wanting equal here, and connection, and you're going to stand your ground. Some of you are putting the past behind you in March, and some of you are just standing your ground, okay? You might have to defend yourself a bit, or feel you might have to. That could be that speaking out that wanted to say. She's sort of standing there with her stick, kind of, okay, I'm bracing, I'm getting ready. Because you've been manifesting or calling in something from spirit, from the realms, from the universe, and there is new innovation, new ideas, new inspiration. You've been thinking a while. There's a few thoughts running in your head up there, Cancer. You know, all these cups are full. It's up in the ethers or in your mind. You're not quite sure. You're still pondering here, okay? You've got a good foundation. Most of you have got a good foundation or security or stability, but you're like, there's more. Anywhere and everywhere that if people, places, and situations are not working with you, not against you, but they're not making it easy. They're not working with you. They're not on board. By the end of the month, Cancer, you decided to be the Queen of Swords. You're emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually exhausted, or whatever level that was for you. And the Queen of Swords can make a decision. So I think that throat thing at the start of March, you just, it's, even when I go into it now, it's coming back again, this croaky, I can't. By the end of March, look, I'm moving on. I've just made a decision or a thought. I'm over this, how I feel or how I'm feeling or what's bringing me down, and I am going to move on. And this is trusting your intuition. This is really trusting your emotions, and your feelings are telling you everything. And you know, the High Priestess is allowing you to master that. You've realized at the end of March here that the Nine of Cups is kind of like, you know, you can provide that for you. The Nine of Cups is like, I bring my abundance to the table. I'm provided for. I provide for. You know, this is like having you want your Nine of Cups. 10 of Cups is the next one up. Okay, message. Where are some of you hanging on too tightly? Staying too stuck in an idea, or restricting yourself, or worse, stuck in an idea about what your Nine of Cups or your wish fulfillment was. And anywhere at the end of March that wasn't kind of, you've had an epiphany or a revelation. If you've got it, great, fantastic. But if you had this, some of you are done and you are moving on here. You will be moving forward to what you thought was your wish fulfillment. You've really been stuck in it, like no one could tell you, you weren't budging, all of that. Be very up in your head about it, and there is going to be an ending. Because we've got the King of Swords. And the King of Swords, he's a bit different to the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords can make quick, harsh decisions. So can the King of Swords, up in his head. But he does try and find a lot of solutions. Okay? Great communicator, all of that. So that was March. So where that resonated, it resonated. Where don't make it fit, it could be just a message you needed to get or a validation or clarification. I'm not going to stay too long in March energy because it's very incredibly heavy for everyone, not just you, Cancer, for everyone. It's very draining energy. It's like there is no energy, okay? Now let's get into April 2020. For Cancer, Sun, Moon and Rising sign. So Cancer, April is a bit more peaceful for you. You know, we had that High Priestess in March, sort of sitting back, not taking too much action, sitting back, watching, processing everything. Now in April, it is a quieter, more peaceful month for you. And I think that's more internally as well, and you're going to take some time to do that. But one thing here, there's that running theme again in April, because we are getting closer and closer to your birthday. And as we do, we have an accumulation of the year's energy coming to full circle on your birthday. So there is a moving to a new level in April in your relationships, which actually validates what the card said in March. So on the 4th, we've got of April, we've got beautiful Venus in your 12th house. Now, that can be you thinking about the past love, past person. You could have a person from the past come back. You could be thinking about dreaming, you know, dreamy 12th house. It's time to forgive and let go of the past if you need to, for some of you. It's also a great time for kind of enjoying that, you know, the 12th house, we enjoy a bit of peace. We enjoy a bit of alone time. We enjoy being connected to everything, but in a peaceful way. Finding that soul time, finding that time, that peace to soothe my soul. So you're getting this opportunity, Cancer, in April to just have this up in your 12th house. You might study metaphysical. You might, you know, whatever that is for you, or psychology, or get into that. 12th house represents this, and you've got Venus there, you know, trying to beautify, trying to soothe, trying to nourish, you know, things will move on more. There's, you know, after next month, after April, things move on. Things get more intense, more intensified. So take the time to rest in April. But I'm talking rest, not sitting back doing nothing. I'm calling that deep soul searching, that deep, quiet, peaceful time where we just feel connected, okay? And a letting go in that, okay? There is this deep 12th house letting go for you that's coming through, that I can feel it, that's beautiful. I feel at peace with it. So a lot of you are going to be letting something go that just brings this deep inner peace. And that's the feeling of ending a karmic cycle right there. So we better get a move on here. Now, we've got April the 8th. We've got a Libran full moon coming in, and that's going to hit your 4th house of home. So a lot of you are going to be wanting to move. You could be moving from a home. The focus is on the home, making changes in the family. Whether you're just changing up your relationship, how you do it, way you do it, it's moving to a new level. Remember, the whole month of April for you is moving relationships to a new level. Whether you're moving, changing how you do it, whether you're moving on, or away, or changing location. There's a big focus on the past, and also in that past connections or a person are going to come up. Connected to home and family, I would say, in the month of, Libran full moon on the 8th of April. So be aware of that. So a lot of thoughts with home, family, safety, security, which is what you're all about and what you love, Cancer. Now on the 12th, we've got Mercury, communication in your sun, and the sun join in your 10th house. This is going to shine a light on your career, okay? It's going to light up what you want, you know, it's going to shine a light on what you want, whether you've got it or not, it's shining a light on it. And you know, you're going to be more public. Now, I know we're in lockdown. I know you're like, how can we be more public? But maybe people are going to be on the internet more and see your website or your work, or you're on social media, or you're putting yourself out there. It is really good news, and you'll have really good community, or, you know, people seeing you, particularly your job and career. So let's say you're in shutdown and lockdown and you decide to get on and do a YouTube channel, do a talk, get on all those social media aspects. It's putting yourself out there in whatever way you can, particularly with career and job. You might have that phone call with someone who you, really click with, okay? And it's going to shine a light on your career, or where that's meant to go, or where it's going, because the universe is at play right now. Now, also around the 20th, the sun's in your 11th house, and the new moon in Taurus, which rules our health and our money and our security and our stability and feeling stable and secure, is also in your 11th house. So new friends, social scenes. Some of you may move, or decide to move, or have to move, or end something around that full moon in Libra, because Libra is all about balance and win-win and that equal. Remember the 2 of cups, the 2 people being very equal. You're putting a lot of thought into your long-term security and stability in April, Cancer, and that new moon, I think towards the end of April, it's all being lit up, okay? And you'll be making decisions. Because you could meet someone in business or personally that brings in new social connections, new clients, new social connections, new friends, personal or business. So I would say the end of April, I've been predicting that a bit. You know, we've all been hit with the shock. By the end of April, people will be shaking it off. And even if nothing's changed, let's say we're still on lockdown, People are like, okay, it's happened. I'm going to dust myself off now. I've got to come up with some new ways, or I'm ready to shake off the dust and be innovative, creative, get out there, get back up. All right. So that's what's going to happen around the end of April for most people, most signs. Okay. Now, the thing I want to mention here with the new groups, new friends, social, this sun in the house of your career, you've got Jupiter and Pluto conjuncting your 7th house all month. So you could meet someone very powerful that comes into your personal life or your career life, or that connection you need. Don't put them on a pedestal, okay? Don't let them throw you off your center. You will be connecting with someone, or possibly, not for all of you, but let's hope so, connecting with someone very powerful. Sometimes it's like meeting my tribe. I have met my tribe. I have connected with that person, whether it's work, friends, groups, associations. That is my tribe. And we get powerful around our tribe, inner power, empowered. So a lot of you at the end of April, you've got it all month. So be mindful of who you're talking to, who's coming your way, who's being pulled in, new groups, new associations. And I always say this, Cancer, to everyone. If you've got this going on and we're ending karmic cycles and there's all this stuff happening for everyone in, April and right up until your birthday, you'll have it personally. These are closing out karmic cycles which bring new people in. I'd be really listening to the universe. I'd be really going with the flow. But let's see what the cards have to say, the message for Cancer for the month of April. What do Cancer need to know the most, or the message that needs to come through the most for Cancer for the month of April? Let's see what's going on. So again, we've got that running theme of, moving to a new level in your relationships, all your relationships, okay? So keep that in mind, and you're going to have a bit of quiet time, soul searching, that peaceful time. Yeah, look again, that was the last card that fell out in March, but it was up that way. Sitting back, not taking action, restricting ourselves, or, to me, if that was the crab, they've gone in their shell. They've retracted in their shell, and we're like, come out, crab. And it's like, no, you can't tell me, I'm not listening, I'm not home, I'm sitting back, I'm holding on to everything too tightly. But it's upside down now, so I can see you've moved through that. You have moved through that from March, end of March to the start of April. Yep, you are confronting something very big in a very quiet way for some of you, and some of you are finally speaking up. And when you do need to catch your breath in April. I would say that's like someone who's finally said what they want to say, and now they've got to pull back and breathe and catch their breath. That's someone who's been out in battle and they've had to run behind the brick wall and kind of catch their breath and process it and analyze it. That card fell in exactly the same spot in March, the Lovers card. This is about a soulmate or a relationship. This is whether it's new or you're in a current one, and also soul group, soul family, connected, what I'm passionate about. Yep, definitely around that full moon, something will be revealed, whether it's to you, Cancer, or to someone else. This is the shadow, this is subconscious. This is someone not wanting to look, see, deal with, hear it, or it's just a pattern or a belief system in your subconscious mind or programming. But you've come out stronger. You are, whatever that is, whatever happens to you or what it is personally, look at you standing your ground. You're back in the Emperor's energy. Now the Emperor sits back and he rules a kingdom, the Emperor. A good Emperor. A negative Emperor is a narcissist. A good Emperor rules the kingdom. He sits back like the high priestess. He takes it all in. He enjoys watching the family and the kids and his town play and be enriched, and but he makes the decision for the good of all. You know, the emperor rules a kingdom. He listens to everyone, he sits back, and then he makes a decision. But he sits in his power quietly. A good emperor is very reflective, very inward. And here it is again. Your Nine of Cups, your wish fulfillment is coming towards the end of April. There it is there. This is being provided for. And you've got some decisions to make, even though you might have great security, great stability. You've grown a fabulous crop here, but look at him going, what next? What's more? What's my next level? And there's that people, places and situations not working with you. They're not fighting each other, but they've all got their own agenda. They are not working together. In the other deck, they're all trying to build the same hut with a different idea and a different agenda, and they're all working against each other. Have you ever tried to put up a tent? Maybe, maybe not. With all people telling you and putting in their way of putting up the tent, and it just becomes a complete disaster. All right, when it's not working with us or for us. But look at the success. You are going to get your wish fulfillment, Cancer, at the end of April. Yes, you've got a tower moment where you've had to rethink or go, this is great, but I need more. There's got to be change. And the tower is about restructure, giving you a new foundation. It brings down the foundation that you've lived in or lived on, and gives you a new one. You get a new tower, but it's going to knock down how you thought. That restriction or where you were restricting yourself. And I can tell you, in your relationships, all relationships need to move to another level. If anyone or anything that's not working with you, who's not working for you, with you, flowing. When I say working for you, I mean flowing with you. Like we've got the same agenda. We both agree we're putting up the tent this way, and we're both picking the same color. Like we're working together. We both want those things. If you're not getting this in your relationship, these two are both putting up equally in relationships. The Ten of Cups is ultimate contentment, whether it's your relationships with your partner or friends or groups or soul family. If you're not feeling this, I can see around that full moon, Libra full moon in April, you've either made a decision here, you're standing your ground, or you're moving. Someone's moving. There will be moving from a home for a lot of you. You don't want to. You really don't want to. That's, depression, deep thought, subconscious. This is absolute conflict within yourself, not conflict without. Like this is, this person's not happy. Look how deeply they're thinking. They have to make a big, hard decision, and they're going to move on, and they're going to or stand their ground in their home and change it. Because their emotions, this is emotion and being balanced and sitting back in peace, in harmony. So that's pretty big. And you're going to get success. You've got the success card on your wish fulfillment. You're getting a brand new foundation. Work, personal, how you thought it worked up until now, what you grew, how you planted this crop, how you got to where you are in relationships or your work or your career. Tower moment. And you will be moving away from anything that's not working for you. And you're not fighting this Cancer anymore, because there's new ideas, new inspiration. Someone comes in that's very powerful, that gives you new ideas, new innovation, new spark, new creativity, okay, a new way of doing here. Because you've had that theme for ages. You really have. Yep, the Ace of Pentacles, new job, your emotional, and this new direction. Let's say it's a new job or a message or a person or a new group or a move or a change. Whatever's happened for you, Cancer, you're getting the King of Cups. Emotional balance, emotional security and stability. Whether that's mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, or all of it. You're moving towards, this is group. The King of Cups keeps his own balance, emotional balance, security, and stability. And that's why he can help the group. That's why he can help. Everyone comes to the King of Cups for advice, and because he can connect to emotion. He can connect to emotion and give that connection to others and help and support. But he also, because he keeps his own balance, he's got security and stability within. And I think that's what, yeah, look at that, going inward. This is security and stability emotionally on a deeper level, an inward level, not outward. Oh, I've got a house, or I've got a car, or I've got this. This is deep inward emotional security and stability. So what is your 10 of Cups? You know, sometimes emotional security and stability, we think, oh yes, I make a lot of money, I feel really secure, I feel good, I'm happy, I'm balanced, everything's balanced. But this is inward. Where are you inwardly feeling secure and stable and connected and nurtured? Hence the end of the month, maybe meeting your tribe, maybe meeting, you know, new people, places, connections. Yeah, anywhere and everywhere emotionally you were blocking yourself, it is unblocked. Anywhere and everywhere you didn't want to see it, all of a sudden you see it. This is great, Cancer. You're ripping that blindfold off because there's new offers, new connections coming in here. There is a big decision to be made. You have to say some stuff that people do not like or do not want to hear, or you don't want to hear it, but there's that High Priestess. There's the completion of the cycle of the cards, because she came out in March, the first card of March. Here we are at April, the end. You've had a big, overwhelming, emotional heart decision you had to make about your security, your stability, even on an emotional level as well as a physical level. And look at this though, the High Priestess, she knows what she's doing. Her intuition is telling her everything. Everything. She trusts her intuition. She already knows the answer to a lot of things. She's been through it all. She's been from the bottom, the dark, to the light. Everything's been thrown at her. And this was your mastery. This was, you know, you're going to get your strength back. You got your strength back here, the very first card. In March, that was the last card. In April, it was the first card upside down. You've got strength back. You've got the Justice sitting here. Balance, you want it. Look at this. Deep thought about a relationship or a connection. Deep thought that you didn't want to look at. Lover's card, whether, let's say that wasn't a relationship, let's say it was your job or your career or people. It is very hard for you, Cancer, to face. Very hard around that Libra new moon. Libra represents relationships. It also represents balance and win-win, and it'll show us where that's not happening. And for some of you, you've either made a decision, or you will make a decision either way, or some of you are moving on. You know intuitively you're going to get your wish fulfillment. You're going to get a new foundation, and it's going to be physically in your money and also deep inner connection to either soul, family and tribe, or the King of Cups, emotional balance. Inward. That's strength. That's a solid foundation, particularly for you, Cancer. All right, my lovelies, I've got to leave it there. I hope that helps you for the month of April. I will see you next month when things pick up.